y'all. Yes, Silky Black. Chef Disaster James is in the building. I see y'all. Who was in here first? Golden Goods is in here first. Infinite, I see you. Jackie G, hey, thank you so much. I am feeling better. Thank you for checking on me, Jackie. Shotty Black, P. Marcel. Yes, everyone is in the building. Everyone is in the building. This is live. We are live. We are in here. I know I've been gone. But I'm back. I'm back, child. Sometimes you just need a break. Sometimes you just need a break, honey. If you coming in, come on in, honey. We got a lot to talk about. Hey, we got a lot to talk about. Yes, Brown Diamond is here. Royalty, I see y'all. Let me give people a few minutes. Y'all know I've been gone, honey. I know some people like, where is she? Y'all still got y'all notifications on. I'm still around. I didn't quit. People want me to quit, but I ain't going nowhere. I am still right here. But this music though, oh my God, I feel like this is the ghetto music. I didn't mean, but I like the ghetto. I have nothing against the ghetto. For the people who be all in my comments, how you looking down on the ghetto? I'm in it. I'm in it. How I'm looking down on it. I'm in it every day. I live in the ghetto. I breathe the ghetto. Y'all know about me. What's up, Wakanda? Woo! I had to put some little hype music on in the beginning because I'm about to get in my feelings, y'all. I'm about to get in my feelings. So y'all might as well get ready. Might be some men in here mad today because I'm talking about women's issues. Women. I can't even get my Andrew Caldwell voice on. If you don't stop biting on me. What's up, Joshua? What's up? I see y'all. Hold on, it's a commercial link. Antoinette, you said is Phaedra coming back? We is not talking about Phaedra right now because Phaedra ain't got nothing to do with what the governor did in Georgia. I don't know if y'all know about House Bill 181, but I'm here to discuss it today. First of all, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, I don't know, he's a Republican. I didn't vote for him. I didn't. Georgia is a red state, despite what y'all think about Atlanta being chocolate. The rest of the damn state is not. That being said, he was elected. We don't like him around here. We think he cheated. We don't like him at all. But I digress. Brian Kemp has signed this bill, child, about the heartbeat fetal law. Y'all know I do not get into politics. I am not that girl who gets into politics. But when it's something that as crucial as something that controls how women can choose what to do with their bodies, it's something that I feel like should be discussed. The House Bill 181. Let me pull this up so I will not be, I don't want to tell y'all nothing wrong, but I do want to just go into detail. The fetal heartbeat bill seeks to outlaw abortion after 6 weeks. So any woman who is pregnant after 6 weeks who chooses not to have the pregnancy and wants to terminate it cannot do it in Georgia. If she finds a doctor in Georgia that will do it, she and the medical practitioner who chooses to do that for her faces up to life imprisonment and or the death penalty. Did y'all hear that part? Life imprisonment and or the death penalty. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling like, we done reverted about 100 years when it comes to this situation. First of all, we got a man. Let me turn off this drone. Hold on. I know y'all looking like, what is going on with this drone? First of all, we got these men out here trying to dictate what and how, women control their bodies, what decisions we make for our bodies. Now we can't even decide if we want to carry a child or not. Like in a minute, it's going to be some forced pregnancies going on. Like she's not pregnant. Let's force her to get pregnant. Like, I don't understand where and how where and how anybody could decide that this was legal. All of a sudden, abortion pretty much is illegal in Georgia after 6 weeks. Most women don't even know they're pregnant until 6 weeks, because normally the 6 week of pregnancy is like the what is it? Because they start counting pregnancy from the date of your last period. So most of the time when you miss a week, you start saying, oh, okay, I might be pregnant. I don't know. Maybe I'm stressed. Then on that second week, you go by your pregnancy test and you piss on the stick and you're like, oh, shit. And then you like, what do you have left? A day or two to decide if you want to have this child, if that is in your mind to have it or not to have it. I don't think there should ever be a situation where a woman, is just torn about how to manage what's going on in her body. Like, at the end of the day, it's look, I got my little notes right here. It is most women don't know they're pregnant. The responsibility lies with the woman. It doesn't lie with the government. It don't lie with the man who got her pregnant. It don't lie with the lady's mama, her friend. It lies with that woman. So for every action, there are consequences. There are consequences. We talk about freedom of speech all the time, and how I always say freedom of speech isn't free. There's always some consequence to what you say, and how the person around you handles it. As for abortion, there's some consequence about that. People are like pro-life, pro-choice. The baby, after the baby has a heartbeat, is technically a person. But in all actuality, it's the mother's decision to decide how that's going to impact her life. Should she have this child? Should she not have this child? And so when it comes to a situation where the government is involved, what's next? They gonna take our freedoms away? Next thing you know, black people ain't gonna be able to drink at the damn fountain no more. We not gonna be able to go to the restaurant with the white people. Like, one civil rights violation begets another and another and another. So I'm just sitting here looking at, where are all the people protesting? Why aren't we talking about this? Why aren't we upset and angry? Most people are like, oh, well, just another day in the neighborhood. Oh, well, I guess they could go somewhere else and get them. No, it's more serious than that. This is something we have to consider and think about, because our rights are being terminated. Our rights are being taken away. Imagine men out there who are having all these children all around the world. What if there was some forced sterilization going around? What if you had 3 children and they're like, oh, at baby number 4 you gonna have to get a vasectomy? It's a law now. Or you can face imprisonment for having a 4th child. How would that affect you? At the end of the day, you should have the option to impregnate as many women as you want to. And women should have the option to have that baby or not. Period. It should not be a government hand in that decision. I'm just really in my feelings right now. You saying right to screw reckless, then kill living what? Wait a minute. What is y'all saying? Maybe that should apply to these white women only. They the only ones with Lord Jesus. Lord, I think it should apply to everyone. I think this particular right, or any right that determines what you do, whether you white, black, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Asian, it does not matter. When you do not want any type of agency in control of your body. What is that? How is that going over your head? I don't understand what is going on. Joshua was like, you need to call in there. I'm going to let y'all call in, but first, I got to read this. Okay, on Tuesday, Georgia Republican Brian Kemp signed the fetal heartbeat bill that seeks to outlaw abortion at about 6 weeks. The measure, which is HB 481, is the most extreme abortion bill in the country, not just because it would impose severe limitations on women's reproductive rights, but also because it would subject women who get illegal abortions to life in prison and the death penalty. I keep saying that. Life imprisonment and the death penalty. The primary purpose of House Bill 481 is to prohibit doctors from terminating any pregnancy after they can detect the embryonic or fetal cardiac activity, which typically occurs at 6 weeks gestation. Typically, not always, but typically. But they just chose 6 weeks. But the bill does far more than that. In one sweeping provision, it declares that unborn children are a class of living, distinct person that deserves full legal recognition. Thus, Georgia law must recognize unborn children as natural persons, not just for the purpose of abortion, but as a legal rule. Basically, they saying fuck the mama. It don't matter, you got to carry this child. It don't matter whatever's going on in your life, whether you die at childbirth, whether it's harmful for you to have this baby. It does not matter. The baby's life is more important than yours. This radical revision of Georgia law is quite deliberate. The bill confirms that fetuses shall be included in population based on determinations from now on because they are legally humans and residents of the state. Your fetus is a resident. Can we write off our fetuses on the damn income tax? I need to know this before the baby born. Can we start writing them off? I'm confused right now because now they residents. Do we have to pay for them to be an extra resident in the house before they even here on earth? I'm just confused right now. It's not clear whether the bill's drafters contemplated the more dramatic consequences of granting legal personhood to fetuses. For instance, as Georgia Appellate Attorney Andrew Fleshman has pointed out, the moment this bill takes effect on January 1st, 2020, the state will be illegally holding thousands of citizens in jail without bond. That's because under House Bill 481, pregnant inmates' fetuses also have independence rights. So if you pregnant and in jail, so those people who pregnant and in jail, they fetus is also counted as a person who is in jail too. Now that the fetus got a damn record before they even born, I'm confused. Somebody need to let me know. The fetus also has the right to due process, because this fetus is now a person according to Georgia law. Can a juvenile attorney represent an inmate's fetuses and demand its release? Can a fetus be released and the mother still be in jail? I mean, if this fetus is a person, we got to start looking. I'm trying to figure this out. It says, if not, why? It is an egregious due process violation to punish one human for the crimes of another. So the fetus gonna be punished because the mother in jail. So now, what's gonna happen to all those millions of fetuses who are in jail? If an inmate's fetus is a human, how can Georgia lawfully detain it for a crime it did not commit? What is going on? This person come on now. Y'all saying that this little speck, this 6-week little speck now has the rights of all the people walking around in Georgia who pay taxes. They're saying that this little speck that hasn't even took a breath of air now has the right, to. I don't understand. I just want to know, if I get pregnant, can I write my fetus off on my taxes? I need some more deductions. You said the law sounds ridiculous. It is ridiculous. We have reverted back to the days of, I don't even know if this has ever happened before, the Roe versus Wade, where people were killing themselves to have abortions. How is it that anybody think that it's okay to control a woman's bodies? That's why I keep telling y'all, I don't want to step on no toes because Lord knows I can. But it just feeling like they want to wipe us off the face of the earth. It don't matter what you think. It don't know how you feel. It don't matter if you carry a child or not. It just don't matter. We gonna force you to do what we want you to do. And why is it that men are making these decisions? Where the women at? Because most of the men in power seem like they just don't give a damn about wombs and fetuses and female reproductive organs and our health. What if you your doctor finds out when you 4 months or 5 months pregnant that you may die if you give birth to the baby? Now the doctor decides to abort the child. Now the doctor got to go to jail and the mama got to go to jail. It's too much going on. Way too much. But I would love to hear from you guys because I know some of you have way more insight than me. I understand it's some of you out there who are pro-life, who feel that, the life of this embryo this fetus is basically more important than the life of the mother. I know there's some of you who feel that way, but I'm not one of them. I am not. you saying, why y'all making a white issue? You said white woman goes with whatever the white man says so. Is that what happened? Is that what happened? I blame the people who didn't vote. What about the people who did? I voted and the wrong person is still in office. So I don't know. When has abortion been done illegally nowadays? You can simply go pay for it. No one goes to back alleys and use a hanger. No one goes yet, but when abortion is illegal at 6 weeks, what if you 8 weeks? Where you gonna get an abortion from if it's illegal in this state? You gotta go take a trip. You gotta go travel to Miami for a weekend. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? So the phone number 718-362-6360. 362-6360, and the PIN number is 9427819. I want to hear from you guys on this situation. Y'all making a white black issue. I don't know. This is a male female issue. Is it a white black issue? Am I not seeing this correctly? I don't know. PIN number. Hold on, let me connect my
Thank you. Joining the conference now. This free conference call is hosted by Conference Now. You are currently the...
Hold on, you guys. You said politics is bullshit. It really sounds like they made some type of deal with the prisons. Is that what it is? They get to now they writing off prisoners on the tax returns. They get to claim they got more prisoners than they actually have. It's something going on. I don't know if y'all have watched the show The Handmaid's Tale. It's pretty much a similar situation, but to an extreme. The Handmaid's Tale is on Hulu, and it's one of my favorite shows. And it basically shows how a male-dominated society, patriarchy, forces these women to have birth for couples that are unable to have birth. So all of these single women of childbearing age get assigned to households, and the men run these women. They're called handmaids, and they forcibly impregnate them in order for them to have babies, in order to, make the to increase the population, because before that babies were dying and all of that. So it's another way the government regulates how women procreate. Well, at least fictionally. Caller 8133. Hello.
Hi, Michelle. This is P. Marcel.
Hey, P. Marcel.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm fine. So I'm calling. So my opinion is this: what if, someone get pregnant and they already have a lot of kids and they can't even afford an abortion, or they have to borrow the money or save the money up? So you get pregnant and you have to save money. So at that point, you got 6 weeks to find out you're pregnant, save up the money, and let's say you want to have an abortion or you need to borrow it. I mean, really?
Look, they don't care about your money.
So, I mean,
why do you think they care?
They keeping it alone?
Why do you think they care about your finances? They don't care. They don't care if you can afford the abortion. If you can't afford the abortion, they know you can't afford the kids. What do they care? It's just another person in the state that they get to take care of. Look, my only issue, again, I just feel like the women should be in control of everything. It's the woman who has to take, the brunt of the situation, whether she decides to have an abortion at 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 20 weeks. She has to live with that for the rest of her life. So why should the government be responsible for, that woman's decision? It's the woman's decision. She got to bear that responsibility regardless. She got to face a higher power, when it comes to, people feeling that it's right or wrong. It shouldn't be the government's decision.
Right. Exactly. We all make mistakes. And, I mean, exactly. Look at what men do. But I think we should start by allowing women to be in power. I think if we want to make a difference, we have to put the right women in power.
We have to
help us. Mm-hmm. That's the only way.
I mean, we tried to get Stacey Abrams, but Brian Kemp took it from her, and here we go. And he's signing these bogus ass laws and stuff. So I don't even know what to say at this point. We went everywhere. We
Oh,
were
it's
showing
being
y'all
done,
Stacey
right?
Abrams. It was a real grassroots campaign. Like, everybody was campaigning for Stacey Abrams, and y'all didn't come out and vote for her.
Mhm. Yeah. So that's why. And remember, I don't know if you remember on Patreon, I was the one that was like, we need to talk about use this platform to talk about politics. He was like, no, I'm not really into politics, but I think the only way we can get the word out, as we did with Obama, like, is people with a platform should really use their platform to talk to people who probably wouldn't vote and let them see the consequences of them not voting.
You're right. I just, as with anything, I like to talk about things that I know. And of course, I know about gossip. I know about, the Real Housewives of Atlanta. When it comes to politics, I have my own opinions, but a lot of times I was just raised in a situation you just don't talk politics. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want nobody beating me down because I decide to vote for, not Trump or whoever. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be somebody who disagrees with your political stance. And I just didn't want to be a political person because I just decided I'm not going to talk about it. But, I would, when something moves me like this, of course, I'm going to say what I need to say. And y'all can do what y'all want to do.
I agree. Well, thank you.
Thank you, P. Marcel. I appreciate your call.
All right.
Bye. Caller 7284, you are on the line.
Hi, Michelle. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Who am I speaking with?
Just speaking with Joshua.
Hi, Joshua.
So I have a different point of view on this.
Uh-oh.
I am a person that is pro-life, and I feel like sometimes the government does have to step up and speak up for the people without voices. Like, you and I are here to speak about this because we are actually here. We have a voice to say this because we are actually here. But those unborn fetus, those unborn children, you don't know how they feel about it because you don't know. They don't have a voice yet. So we're able to voice our opinion and vote. Why don't we give them a fighting chance to vote and have their opinion as well? In addition to that,
so basically a fetus, the mama who is pregnant should have 2 votes when she go to the office. She voting for herself and she voting for her fetus.
She already had 2 votes. One, she had to vote to open her legs and let the dick slide in her. That's 1 vote. And the second vote is for her to not to have contraception.
Joshua.
So she's so concerned about not having a baby.
Joshua.
And she's so concerned about not having a baby. And she's so concerned about making sure that she doesn't want to have this baby or not. I think she should make sure she take the proper precautions.
Do you have a womb?
I do not have a womb, but I am a man who I have had issues with fraternity. And I feel like if I was with a woman and she decided that she wanted to have a baby and not to have a baby, I feel like because that child is half of mine, I should have a say-so as well. Yes, she carries the child for 9 months. Yes, a mother has a greater responsibility of it. But when the child is here, the government looks at both of us as equal participants of a child. It takes 2 people to make a child. So I think it takes 2 people to make a decision.
It takes 2 people. It takes 2 people to make a child, but it takes 1 person to carry it. So that woman will be more impacted by the man, than the man, regardless of the situation. As proof of all these men running around right now impregnating multiple women. The women are it's a standstill. Once she gets pregnant, she not out getting pregnant again tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the woman should bear that responsibility. It's a personal decision if she wants her life impacted for the rest of her life by this child. Regardless. Somebody said, I.e. future.
I'm not saying the woman doesn't have the larger responsibility. I'm not saying the woman doesn't have the bulk of the responsibility, but I do think that after a child has a heartbeat from a nursing background, a heartbeat and a breath and stuff like that, it has now formed into something. It now has.
Now let me ask you this. I know you're pro-choice, and Fountain said the man should have a choice too. So what if the woman gets pregnant, like in future situation where this woman got pregnant, he didn't want her to have a baby, and he didn't want to have anything to do with the baby. Now the baby's here, and she's showing the baby, but he didn't want her to have the baby. Should he have been able to legally force her to have an abortion? I mean, if you're going to look at one aspect, look at the other aspect. At the end of the day, it shouldn't be nobody's decision except the woman, not even the man's. The man can decide, like you said, in order to force her to have it or force her to not have it if they both going to have a say-so.
I think when it comes to that, I mean, of course, it is a tricky situation, but I feel like when a woman, when people, so a child is up for decision, whether to have it or not. Once it's past a stage of its own identity, the child needs to be here.
Well, 6 weeks is a little extreme. It's extreme, don't you think? 6 weeks is a little extreme.
Whether she gives it up for adoption, whether he has nothing to do with it and he signs his rights away from it, that can be discussed farther down the line. But once a child starts to have its own identity inside the woman's body, I feel like we need to give that child a chance.
So you think the child has its own identity at 6 weeks?
As when it gets a heartbeat and a pulse, a child has its own identity in that form. Not as in they know who they are, they know all the choices that they want to make in the world, but they have their own identity as a heartbeat and lungs.
If I wasn't a woman, I may feel like you, but because I am a woman and because I have made that hard decision, about abortion in the past, I know for a fact that, there are situations where women have to deal with it one way or the other. We're going to have to deal with the birth of a child that you do or don't want, or you got to deal with the consequences of having an abortion that you did or didn't want. At the end of the day, you are in control of your body, and it's a personal decision of what you do with your body. As a man, you can't say, I don't want to give this woman my sperm, and then they take it from you anyway. So when you talk about one extreme, you need to talk about the others as well. You can't police women's bodies, period.
No, I always have an issue with government stepping in anyway with any issue when it comes to making a choice for a person's person.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess from my first experience, even with, let's just say my parents were married, because there was complications with my mother's pregnancy, they asked her to terminate me. She decided not to terminate me. I mean, she might regret it now, but she decided not to terminate me. And all the medical issues that they said that I was going to have, I end up not having.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, that's the kind of standpoint I come from. And so she just decided that she was going to have me and let God, make the choice whether I was going to
But she made that decision. She wasn't forced to have you or to not have you. She made that decision based on, what the doctor said. She chose to have it despite whatever the case may be. What if the doctor had said, we're going to force you to abort this baby because, you might die tomorrow, and she's forced not to have you. You see what I'm saying? It can work either way. So my thing is, you should have the choice whether to have it or not to have the child.
So I understand it's all about a choice. My mother had a choice, but my stance on is I feel like once a child has a heartbeat in it. Now I'm not just saying you can't have an abortion, period. But once a child gets to a certain, a fetus gets to a certain status,
okay,
or a certain transition, I feel like the child should have a fighting chance. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay. I mean, okay.
I think it should be
I would hope so too. I would hope so too. But again, I'm just of the mindset of, but that's that woman's individual decision. She has to deal with it or not. We may judge her for it, but at the end of the day, she has to deal with the decision to have the child or to not have the child. She has to deal with the decision to make healthy choices while she's pregnant, to drink or not to drink. She got to make the decision to smoke or not to smoke. So every decision lies with the mother. It doesn't lie with the government. It just doesn't, in my humble opinion.
I do understand what you're saying. I really do understand.
Hello? Joshua, I think you died. Hello? Okay, I think we lost Joshua. I'm going to put you on hold. I might come back. 3343, hello.
Hi, Michelle. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
Well, I have two opinions on this because I have a personal opinion and I have two personal opinions, okay?
Okay.
Number one, I'm a foster mom, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I see a lot of kids in foster care.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two, I had my own abortion when I was 35 years old. I decided to have it because it wasn't by my ex-husband, but we was already arguing over child support, and I didn't want to argue over the next nigga with child support. So I decided I couldn't give that child the gift that I can give my other two kids. So I made the decision to have it. And I don't regret it because my two kids are grown. They're doing well in life, and I'm still giving back to other children who don't have a stable home. And I have 4 in my house right now. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel like that. I feel like that's what the problem we have. We got all these kids in foster care that parents they decide to have them, and then they end up in foster care in the system. And it's a lot of kids in the system. A lot of black children in the system. Okay, so I don't feel like government has a right to tell anybody what to do with their bodies. It's ridiculous. If you can't afford it, you can't take care of it. It's your choice to do what you gotta do.
I agree.
And that's how I feel about it.
Well, look, it's not even up for debate. Like, my thing is, as women, we have to make, hard choices about our bodies all the time.
Yeah.
So, why should somebody else take that choice away from us? Like, there's so many things that go on with our bodies. I talk about it all the time over on Patreon. The fibroids, the this, the that, the choice to have a child, the choice not to have a child. All of that is our choice. So why should it be the government's decision what happens after we get pregnant? If it's, people make mistakes, shit happens, condoms break, whatever the case may be. So why should it be the government's decision what happens after that mistake is done?
And then on top of that, if they make everybody have a baby, you're gonna have all these other kids in foster care as a repeated cycle. We got a lot of kids in foster care. If anybody thinking about that, the government is taking care of the kids too in foster care.
Well,
it's like, are you guys thinking about that?
Yeah.
Somebody about that?
Somebody asked a question about if the woman gets raped, do they have to keep the baby? And it's my understanding there are no exemptions in this House bill when it comes to rape or medical conditions. There's no exemptions.
She'll be going to different states to have an abortion. She'll be getting out of Georgia.
That's the point. That's the point I'm making. At the end of the day, it's gonna be like people traveling to go elsewhere, or people, I don't think nobody's gonna do anything in back alleys or that. But Georgia has made it an issue where you can't have it here.
That's a backwoods state. I can't stand stuff like that. It's ridiculous.
You're right. You're right.
I was just calling in to say, I got it's a lot of kids in foster care, and everybody's not made to be a mama, okay? And people should understand that.
Okay, so G Strahan said there is an exemption for rape and incest, but not medical conditions. I'm confused.
They need that. What?
If a woman is raped, they will give them the morning after pill. Y'all doing too much. Okay, I'm sorry, Andrea. Go ahead.
Where's Planned Parenthood at? Where's all these people? Where's all these people pro-life at? Where's they at? Where are they at? I'm confused.
Well, I mean, they were there, but they can't stop the governor from doing what he did. Clearly. But thank you so much, Andrea. I appreciate your thoughts on the matter. Let me get to some of these other calls.
Okay.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Definitely read up GLT, because, it's a serious situation when it comes to this. Caller 9719, you're on the line. Hey, C. Patterson. Hello, caller 9717.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, I'm Geneva. How are you?
Hi. Hi. You said Geneva?
Yes.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. I just wanted to say, the last caller touched on what I wanted to talk about as far as children in the foster care system.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that the situation is just as cut and dry or black and white as people like to, think it is. There's a lot of gray area, a lot of different variables that, would cause someone to want to have an abortion. Now, I myself, I'm pro-choice, but I wouldn't do it, but I've never been in a circumstance where
I needed to, go that route.
Mm-hmm.
But who's to say I can't get raped or some little child, has incest or whatever.
Right.
And then, excuse me, a lot of times you don't even know you're pregnant until about 8 to 10 weeks. So that.
So basically, they're taking away the choice. That's the point, because most pregnancies are counted from the date of your last cycle. So if 4 weeks pass, and then you're a week late, and then you try to figure out what's going on, and you find out, you go to the doctor, like you said, it's like 7-8 weeks. By the time you figure it out, so they just took the option away.
And it's overwhelming to go through all of that. And, we are talking as grown women.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a child who's been raped or molested or incest. That's a lot for them to deal with, and it's going to take more than weeks. That's something, it's traumatic. So it's going to take years for that to, for them to deal with that mentally and emotionally.
Right. And it takes years for any woman to deal with that decision. I don't believe that there's any woman out there that go and decide to have an abortion that don't think every year, dang, my child would have been 5. My child would have been 6.
Right.
My child, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you make that decision for yourself based on what's going on in your life, your options, whatever. Nobody knows what's the best decision for your body, for yourself, for your life, but you. Having the government take that away is wrong.
No, it is. And then on another point, as far as, the kid having a right in your stomach as a fetus or an embryo.
Right.
I don't really comprehend all of that, but I do know, we need to focus more on actual human beings walking around, living and breathing right now. Because the kids that are in foster care, like she said, and then people have kids that can't afford them, you want to take away welfare, who's going to pay for these kids? It's like you feel like you're doing something with this issue, but you haven't even got this issue over here taken care of. That is a part of the whole bigger problem.
Right.
And so it absolutely makes no sense. These men don't even know anything about it. And then as far as the black and white issue goes, black women in this country have the highest deaths when it comes to childbirth.
Mm.
So not only are you so concerned about an embryo, care more about that woman when she's in labor to make sure she actually lives to have the baby. Focus on that.
Right.
Better health care. But, that's all I wanted to say. Oh, one more point. Even though, I'm pro-choice, I do think that, I'm not saying everyone does, but there are a few women who use abortion as a form of birth control, where they may have 5, 6, 7 abortions. I'm not sure how they pay for it, but I'm against that because I feel like at a certain point, make better decisions in your life.
They're gonna be bad apples in every.
They can't do it by themselves, so it goes both ways.
Exactly, and that's my point. Like, of course, we know there are people out there that abuse abortions that don't give a dang. That's just like okay, but again, that's her burden to bear. That's her life. She got to deal with that. She got to deal with the choices and the consequences of her actions of having however many abortions or whatever the situation is. Not the government. That's the only thing I'm trying to say. Like at the end of the day, like I feel like we can sit and say it's a moral issue. The baby has a heartbeat. It should, be afforded the opportunity to live, all of that. Yes, I totally agree with that. But on the other hand, the woman has the choice to decide if, she wants this to affect her life and how. Period.
Right. You're right. But thank you so much. You have a great day.
Thank you. Anonymous, you on the line. Hello. Hello. Okay, on to the next. 3906. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name is AJ. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, AJ. How you doing?
I'm good. So I want to give my perspective from a 22-year-old's point of view.
Okay.
I heard about this on Leah Gordon's channel, which is somebody I watch on YouTube too.
Uh-huh.
And I was actually talking about this with one of my coworkers too. I was like, of course there's 2 different point of views from it. I'm pro-life simply because when I was 17, I had to make the decision to have an abortion because I was young, I was dumb, and I already knew I didn't want to raise a child on my own, and the guy that was going to be the father wasn't someone I wanted to even possibly bring a child into this world with, you know? So that was definitely a difficult decision. But I would definitely say in the future, if I had a daughter, I would want my daughter to have the option, especially because, for one, yes, it is your body. Two, the government can't tell you anything about how a woman's body regulates. A lot of these political people are men, so they don't even deal with a lot of the things that women go through when it comes to menstrual cycles or giving birth or anything like that. And then from the mental aspect as well, it's like, to think if I had a child, I thought about that too. It's like, why would I want to give birth to a child and then possibly not love this child because of who I had this child with? You know what I mean? It's a lot of things that just go into play when you think about people and having children. So for them to just tell you that you can't do that, that's really frustrating because they don't think about how it affects the mother as well, and how they could possibly be absent or not be there for the child emotionally or physically, whether they have to provide, because I have a single mother, so I know that she works a lot, and even though she does everything for me, she's not here all the time. So that's something that I'm impacted by. So for them to tell us that that's a right that we no longer have, they're not thinking about it from all point of views. Even as a 17-year-old, when I had to make that decision, I had to speak up for myself as an adult and go in front of a judge in order to even be able to get granted the opportunity to do that on my own, just so my mother wouldn't find out. And even with me going to a Planned Parenthood or anything like that, like another lady on the line also said, a lot of people don't find out until they're about 8 weeks. And with that situation, the Planned Parenthood even messed up. Initially, they thought that I would have to only take as people call it, a Plan B pill, but they later realized I was further along, like 9 or 10, which made me have to go through a surgical abortion. So there's a lot of things that does go to it, and I do not regret my decision at all because I'm about to graduate college this year. I have a wonderful job. I'm moving out on my own here very soon, and I couldn't imagine where my life would be if I was attached to a human being that I didn't want to be with long term, and also have a child that I didn't really know if I actually wanted. You know what I mean?
Right. And you know, most women have had to make that decision, whether they want to admit it or not, you know. So I feel like it's the burden again that the woman has to bear. It should never be an opportunity where, you know, that choice is taken away from the woman. It should, because it changes your whole life one way or the other, whether you have the child or you don't have the child. It's going to change your life. Again, you know, people are going to sit there, you know, you're going to wonder, you know, years from now, how old my child would have been, what would my life have been if I had a child. Or it could be a situation where you're like, okay, if, you know, I'm glad I didn't, because now, you know, I've been able to do what I had to do. Now is a perfect time for me to have it now. So it's your decision, period.
Yeah, and everybody, of course, wants to love their child with everything in them. And I know a lot of people always say that you were made out of love or whatever they say to their kids, and I just don't. I would hate to think about the people that would end up having a child that would possibly neglect their children, or the horrible situations that they could end up in. So that really sucks that they're trying to put that on women.
I agree. And I can't stand the men. Thank you so much. I appreciate your call and your input. And blessings to you. Thank you. I can't stand the men on here, and I know it's me and King Mike. Are you a man? Somebody's saying, why you having sex with someone you don't want to be with? That ain't got nothing to do with having children. Like King Mike, everybody you have sex with, you want to have children with? Is that where you going with this? Every time you have sex, you're hoping that there's a child involved. Sometimes stuff happens, and you know you have to make decisions to go along with the other decisions that you made that didn't go quite as planned. Exactly, sexy sky doll. Caller 7365. King Mike, sometimes you don't want to be with the person that you had sex with. Next month you might not like them. Caller 7365. Hi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, my name is Stacy. I'm a transgender lady.
Hi, Stacy.
And I was calling to say, I think a woman should have their own choice to whether or not they should have a child. Because if they are forced to have that child, and when that child comes here, they may abuse that child. I would rather see them abort a child than abuse a child. So that's all I want to say. I don't think they should have the right to take a woman's right away from her.
Yes, I agree. Well, thank you so much. I
That's
appreciate
all.
your
Thank
input.
you.
All right. Goodbye. The problem is when they have abortions at their second and third trimester, that is just wrong. Well, JD, again, I don't want to even get into that. But 6 weeks is a little early, don't you think, JD? Caller 7461. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Michelle.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Okay, my name is Gloria. I'm calling from Savannah. Within the bill, if you are raped or incest or have some medical condition that your life is in danger, there's provision for that in the bill.
What's the provision? What does it say?
Well, I don't understand how someone would want to kill. The government is there to protect life. And they're actually protecting
the government is there to protect lives that are already walking and breathing and paying taxes. Correct?
Calm down. The child is a life. It is a life, and it's not the woman's body because it's a separate body. It's a child within the woman's body, and that's life. And I feel, let me speak, and then you can go, because I feel that when we diminish one life, then our lives will be diminished also. You cannot say that you should have the right to kill a child, but when you go to the hospital and they neglect you because you're black, then you're all up in arms. This thing goes from one to the other. You start diminishing life, and they will diminish your life.
But they're already diminishing life when they tell a woman that she can't decide what to do with her life. Having an abortion is affects a woman's life, good or bad, whether she decides to not have the abortion or have the abortion. That is affecting the woman. So her life is being diminished. So when you take away one right from a person who is walking the earth and paying taxes and doing all the things that under governmental law, you are able to take away other rights from that person and other people. Next, like I told you, it'll be a civil rights issue with African Americans just because they don't like them. Then there'll be a civil rights issue with the LGBT community just because they don't like them. How can you sit there and say it's totally okay for the government to have a hand and a say so in what a woman decides to do? It doesn't have to do with whether there's a life, or not. At the end of the day, her life is in jeopardy or in, at issue here.
Hold on. The government is there to protect life, Michelle.
You cannot give the government the option to protect your life. You are responsible for your body. Are you not? Are you responsible for who you sleep with?
Yeah.
So the government can tell you who and wait. If the government can tell you not to have a baby, basically the government can also tell you who and who not to sleep with, correct?
No.
Why not? Why not? Why not?
The woman has a choice to decide.
So the woman has a choice to decide who she can sleep with, but not whether she should have a baby?
To protect herself before she gets there. You cannot say that, she has all these rights and she's in control and she can't control her own emotions and her body to tell this man to put on a condom and go and get the right.
So what if the condom breaks? What if the condom breaks? What if the condom breaks? What if the condom breaks and she gets pregnant? Is that her choice that the condom broke? Is that her choice that the condom broke?
That is a life, Michelle.
But she has a life, ma'am. I don't know your name, but she has a life. So you're putting the baby's life, who's not even here yet, above the mother's life. Does the mother not have a life?
No,
the mother doesn't have a life.
Equal to the mother's life, equal, because listen, that is a human being. it doesn't stop.
The mother is not a human being? Isn't the mother a human being? Isn't the mother a human being? I'm confused. But you're saying this person that hasn't even took a breath yet, this person who can't even walk or spell or write or sign a check are a human being. Calm down, ma'am. Calm down. You're saying that this person can do all of that and have all of these rights, but you're saying that the woman who can bear the child does not have any right? I'm confused in this, where this is going. Now you can talk.
Michelle, I'm saying this. There are two human beings, whether 3 or 4 inside they are human beings.
Okay.
They should have the same right to be protected by the government as the person that's carrying them. If someone comes and kills that woman, the child, the person is charged with her death, not only her death, but the child's death. Now, I don't even understand this because this is just topsy-turvy to me. How can someone be charged with 2 murder when they murder a pregnant woman, but a woman can go and kill a child and say it's not a child and get off scot-free for killing these children?
Because I think at this point, I think you're conflating issues, because on the one hand,
no, I'm not conflating
yes, you are, because on the one hand, we're talking about the government having the opportunity to tell you when and where and how to give birth or carry a child. It is your choice. It is your option to decide, I do not want to have this baby.
I don't believe that.
Okay.
I believe that child has the right.
Okay.
The only reason,
but just like they can force you, they can force you to carry that child. Imagine if they can force you to be impregnated. Just like they can do one thing, they can do the other. So
this is going to lead to a lot of stuff. It's going to lead to a lot of sterilization. And if you don't believe that, I would be leery as a black woman.
Well, that's the point. They will be taking your right away to even decide to get pregnant. So as long as they take one right away, they will take another right away. Caller, you really just proved my point. So again, like when it comes down to birth control, what if they decide, next month that they're going to decide to sterilize all these men who are impregnating these women who can't abort these babies that y'all making them have? Then it's going to affect the men. Then where we going to go from there? Then all of a sudden it's going to be an uprising and people are really going to go to the polls. People are really going to protest because now they talking about snipping and doing all this stuff to your penis. Doing all this stuff to your penis, and then it's an issue. Legalize sterilization. Let's sterilize all these men who are impregnating these women instead of forcing these women to have all these babies. How about that? Let's do that. I am closing the phone lines because y'all about to get me mad. You said you already don't have the same rights. We don't have the same rights as men at the end of the day. Men are controlling everything. They're even controlling women's wombs. And I am not going to stand for it. There are some women out there who are okay with it. I'm not one of them. I am not. So if you want to argue, if you want to debate, I'm not going to debate. It's a non-debatable subject over here on my channel. It is a non-debatable subject. Women should have the right, the absolute right to choose to have a child or to not have a child. We cannot have it both ways. First, you're going to say, it's going to be governmental agencies stepping in to sterilize people. And then it's going to be governmental agencies stepping in to force women to keep babies. It can't go both ways. One or the other. So to cut out all the middlemen, cut out the government, make it that woman's responsibility, because at the end of the day, she's the one who got to bear the brunt of the consequences. Whether the consequence is to have a child and decide how she gonna feed the baby, how she gonna raise the baby, whether the consequences is aborting the child and deciding, next year, oh my God, I shouldn't have did that. Those are the consequences that she has to make. And as a Christian and somebody who believes in God, she has to answer to that higher power, not the government. That being said, I think I'm out of here. I am out of here, y'all. I'm going to sit here and argue all day long. Case closed. Case closed. Case mother plucking closed. I am done. I am done. And if you disagree, I don't care. I do not. Oh, for those of you who want to talk about the housewives, I know y'all here. I know y'all, stealing y'all feelings about the whole Portia having a baby. I'll talk about that tonight at 8 o'clock. I gotta go eat dinner. So 8 o'clock over on the ATLien channel. Head on over there. iamATLien. YouTube.com/ATLien. I will be over there at 8 o'clock talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Portia's having a baby. Woo! This was heated. This was a touchy subject. I appreciate the people who called in, even the people who disagreed. But I ain't gonna let nobody tell me that it's okay for the government to take away a woman's right to choose. Never. Never, ever. Ever, ever, ever. I don't care what you think. King Mike, whatever your name is, I do not care. You said I got heated. I'm just if they can force a woman to keep a child, they will be able to force a woman to have an abortion. Think of it both ways. Y'all can't think of it just one way. Okay, yes, I agree that babies are God's gift, and women who carry babies are blessed and all of that. I get it. But there are some people who would make mistakes. There are people who, have to make tough decisions on what's best for their lives. And sometimes what's best for their lives is not a child. Sometimes it's not the government's decision. That's all I'm saying. But thank you guys for tuning in. Throw up your aliens. Throw up your aliens. Whether you agree with me or not, you still a member of the squad, and I still appreciate you. I really do. I really do. Please join me over on the ATLien channel tonight. Talk about Portia's having a baby. She already had the baby, but we talk about her show. Thank you to all of the mods, Juno, Chef Disaster, C. Patterson. I see y'all in there. You said, God damn it. I just gotta say what I gotta say. I had to get that off my heart. It's important to go out and vote also. Definitely investigate your candidates, please. Please, honey. I didn't vote for Brian Kemp. I'm not taking responsibility for that. I do live in Atlanta, though. But Georgia is a whole nother can of paint. You said nobody cared. You said she got... That's okay. I get heated a lot. I'm just really good at hiding it. But I'll see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.